everyone, T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review. And today we are going to be taking a look at MP-09, Rodimus Convoy, or Rodimus Prime, if you grew up in my day and age. And this box is huge. It's almost the same size, I'd say, as the reissue Predaking box. But that's not what we're here to look at, so I'm just going to take that out. The back does show all the various things you can do with him. And let's focus on Rodimus himself. And here he is in his hot rod, his hot rod mode. And this is how he comes packaged. He comes in his box in the hot rod mode, and his trailer ends up being right beside him in the box. And it's a big trailer. It's pretty cool from what I've seen, but let's go and look at Hot Rod first. Along with Hot Rod, you end up getting, of course, his accessories that come with him. You get the two guns that Hot Rod would have had in his 86 toy release. Not the Target Master version. I wonder if we'll see a Target Master. You get a little matrix, which is chrome, gold and silver chrome with a clear blue crystal inside. It doesn't pull apart. You get this repair arm thing and the razor disc. Now, a lot of this stuff that I'm going to do is all off the top of my head. Well, first impression by reading the book here. I haven't actually done any of this stuff to begin with, so you and I are kind of all exploring this together. Let's take a little bit closer look at the figure, I guess, before we look at anything else. Now, I really like how this guy looks, the Hot Rod version. I can't help but notice that mine has a couple QC issues. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Probably if I put a light, actually right there, you can see right through his leg because it's not together. The bottom of this knee is a little bit off, but he has good range of motion here. Move him back here. He can, he can come apart apparently, but he can get a full 360. He's a little bit hindered by some of his kibble and stuff. He's got elbow double jointed, so he can get it up pretty good, better than Arnold Schwarzenegger could. He does have a rotation here to give him some side posability. Of course, it's on pivot there, in and out. The knee is on kind of like, looks like a big ball joint, but it's not. It's just again a double jointed hinge. Sorry, a little bit nervous doing some of these stiffer plastics, but yeah, that swivels. The lower calf, I don't think it's on a swivel. It looked like it was on a swivel. His toe or his foot can go in and out. A waist joint on this guy, so that's always nice to see. And the skirt armor, which looks like it would hinder, does flip up both on the front and back. A little bit awkward on the front, but it does let you give him extra leg posability for a full range of motion of the legs. So that is the core Hot Rod figure. The one thing I don't like, oh, I guess I forgot to show his hand posability, which gets into what I don't like. His hands look a little bit skeletal in my opinion. And he's got that classic ball jointed thumb piece, which is okay, but hard to find a position that I think looks really good. Then he's got swivel down here, full rotation. The inner fingers and then the tips of his fingers can pose so he can make a decent looking fist, I guess. But I just don't particularly care for them as much as I like some of the other releases, such as like Grimlock and stuff. Like the beefier hands I like a little bit better. And this centerpiece doesn't stay on very well, it seems. Alright, well I was able to get one gun in his hand. The other one kept falling out. And really these hands are fairly weak on the figure. You can see I can barely touch it and they just fall out. When we want, we can take our Rodimus hands. I'm assuming he can do it on both. But we open up a piece right here and it looks like everything kind of gets folded in similar to Masterpiece Prime, turned around like that, and then we can swivel this out here somehow, and then close it back up, and now he's got kind of a Mega Man thing going on there with no actual hand. And then that allows him to take some of his accessories, such as the saw blade, and you just kind of put it on into there, and it clips in pretty nice. It's not too terribly tough, and gives him a different weapon than his gun, and probably one that works a lot better just because, you know, it's not going to fall out all the time. And he's also got, of course, this repair thing. So that's a little extra something there. Let's bring his hand back out though, just because I like it with that, with the hand. And he does have this on both arms, so you can pick and choose which one you like best. The visor that we all saw online, if you followed it, that apparently all we do is kind of pinch the sides of his head here and twist his, like his little ear things, and then it pops down his little blue visor, which is pretty cool. It's a nice little effect there. Can it go back up? I kind of have to do it by hand, I guess, because it's a tough little swivel there. But then, of course, we have his chest cavity here. Let's see how we pop this down. There we go. So we can now take his matrix and we put it into the chest cavity, just like when he would get it from Optimus. So there you go. He's got his chest cavity there. So I guess we might as well start the transformation to Rodimus Prime. And for that, we take his head and rip it off his face and put his eerie second face on top. Looks like you just kind of push that down, and then, oh look, he's some kind of weird robot with 4 eyes. How do we get it to hide his face back there? Alright, so it takes a little bit of fiddling, but you can push his face in. Then, let's see, what else are we supposed to do here? It looks like, I don't know what it's trying to tell us to do here on these instructions. Okay, so yeah, it was pretty simple. All you were really doing is taking this little red piece from a little more in, which makes his legs closer together, to just kind of flip it down a little and then close it back on up, and it gives him a little bit wider stance, which is kind of funny when you consider, you know, the difference between Rodimus in his G1 form, well, Hot Rod's G1 form, and Hot Rod's Rodimus Prime G1 form, which is essentially exactly the opposite. In fact, I've got them right here. You've got your G1 Rodimus, your G1 Hot Rod, and Hot Rod's legs are just a little bit further apart than Rodimus, but we'll get back to them after. We don't need them now. So we put this down, and pretty much the last thing to do is just to take his spoiler, and basically says take it and push it together, and the instructions show a really significant change, but I'm not seeing a very significant change here. I think that is it, unless I'm wrong. But overall, it doesn't really change the look of the figure too much. The biggest thing is obviously the face. He has just a tiny bit extra height because of the leg change there. And of course, here's his little gimpy hand still being a problem. The coolest thing I think he has is his guns here. You had these two guns for Hot Rod, and you obviously, Rodimus had a different gun than Hot Rod had, and you take these two guns and you push it together, and actually the whole thing transforms. You push it in and it locks out, and boom, now you got one single Rodimus Prime gun, who I still can't get him to hold. Now, the weird thing I see with the instruction manual here is that it shows him pulling apart the matrix, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't work that way. I'm thinking they want you to use the matrix from MP-09, because in here it says something about MP1 or MP1B or MP2, which I believe are all Optimus stuff. Yeah, that's about it for Rodimus here.